So, I want to real quick make it 100% aware of what it is that I'm doing. Because I get a lot of interesting questions, a lot of very interesting people. So let me clarify some things. What I do here has nothing to do with witchcraft, okay? Has nothing to do with magic, has nothing to do with summoning anything, okay? This is all mathematics. This is all the act of creation, okay? Creation is basically accessed and developed through the process of encoding. Your environment that you live in is digital energy. Digital energy by nature is encoded, okay? Binary, okay? So once you learn how to manipulate, use codes or whatever, you take one frequency, overlay it on top of it another, and then you have the process of creating energy, moving energy, and whatnot. And through the process of moving energy, you can actually do real creation. But I want it to be real apparent that what I do is based upon moving energy. It's the force, okay? Even though George Lucas made a movie which is, what we call primarily fiction by nature, let me tell you something, he nailed a lot of things, which is the reason why he made the movie in the first place. It's based off of a lot of truths. That's all there is to it. Okay, I visualize and see the force as mathematics, as moving mathematics. In other words, there's not a lot of spiritualism in it. Okay, I'm not going to say that you don't have a soul and that your soul is not evolving as you do this, because it actually is, and you do have a soul. Okay, but spiritualism, New Age stuff, and all that other stuff doesn't have much merit within what we do here with self-mastery. Okay, although a lot of people like to use a lot of the same lingo and a lot of the same terminology, believe me when I say the practice of this versus any of the other things is not even the same league. This is all 100% love-based, which is not self-service based, it's service to others based. Okay? The only self-service aspect of this whatsoever is that you're evolving yourself so that you can help others. Okay, so this is unconditional love based, because unconditional love and unity is what the entire universe is made of. It is the most powerful force within the universe. Separation is just a creation for those beings who still need to feel special or individual. Okay? So, we don't use our abilities to summon anything. We don't use our abilities to make money. We don't use these abilities to attack or hurt others. We don't use this ability as a weapon. Okay? Love in of itself is its own frequency, which is a protective frequency. If you're using unconditional love to its fullest, believe me, you've already got, quote unquote, a weapon. But you don't think of it in terms of a weapon because you actually love everybody. Okay? So, again, let me state, this is not witchcraft. This is not Ouija board. This is not tarot card. This is not the New Age religion. Because nothing that we do is based off anything New Age. Everything that we do is just based off common sense. And common sense would dictate that you treat others as you would like to be treated. Okay, golden rule. Okay? And so, if anything, self-mastery is the practice of common sense, in which case there are certain side effects that occur once your personal frequency vibrates at a certain point. You start to experience side effects like this. Okay? This is just creation. This is what you are. And this is the reason why it's really nothing special in the end, because this is what you're already made of. And you're journeying back to the one who formed you of this. You're already made of this. This is what you're woven of. Okay? But through the process of socialization, schooling, all sorts of societal constructs that constrict you, that create boundaries on you. That's what earth mathematics is for, is it creates boundaries on you. Boundaries of which your mind has a hard time ever learning how to cross. The same thing what religion does. It creates boundaries upon you of which you're too scared to cross because you feel that you're blaspheming something by doing it. Okay? The one wants you to come back to it, and the one is created of this. It doesn't want you to fear it. That's a complete conflict of interests. And when I say you're a part of the one, I'm not telling you that you're a God either, because you're not. The one and the only one is God. Okay, and that's composed of everything out here. Okay, you are just a reflection and a part and a piece of that, which is a mere reflection of everything else. And one conscious version of you is worth millions of the unconscious. Okay, but I'm going to tell you this: you're still no better than any of the millions of the other conscious. It just means that you have taken this path to understand yourself. The unconscious, those are gold too. It's just them waking back up to remember who they are. Okay? So we're not teaching self-empowerment, we're teaching empowerment of the whole in this place, because the whole in this place has gone astray. So we're re-empowering the positive. So again, this is not paganism, it's not Satanism, it's not witchcraft, it's not anyism. If anything, it's Jediism, which is self-mastery. Okay? And this is not a religion. It does not teach a religion. All it wants of you, all it asks of you, is evolution through the process of unconditional love, dumping out your ego, and then re-accepting unconditional love to fill in the space that you dumped. And the more you fill in that space and keep going up, 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 you fill up with unconditional love, and then you gain a consciousness, and you gain a unity, a collective unity that breathes through you and you through it. But until that day comes where you do that, you stay disconnected from it, and you think of this stuff as, it's a tree, it's a bush, it's a weed, cut it down, who cares? That's how the mind thinks when it's disconnected. And that same disconnected mind, of course, would really hate it if the tree were to come alive and just start chopping the human being apart. We wouldn't like it then. That's when it would become, that thing's a monster and it's a tragedy, right? But when we do it, it's all right. You have no idea what's in these things. You have no idea the type of consciousness that is woven through it. It's smart. It allows you to do the things that you do. Let me repeat that. It allows you to. It can just as easily swallow you whole. And let me be specific about that. When I say this place can come alive and swallow you whole as if you're nothing, it can do that. It's just made of code. It's just made of ones and zeros. And the ones and zeros can be moved around, as I've shown. And all it has to do is be moved around to some sort of configuration, and you're gone. Look at the Bermuda Triangle. Those are coded gateways. So when something comes through and it doesn't have the code to make it through, it disappears and it goes away into a dimension that it probably cannot get out of. And so keep in mind, when you're doing this, have a pure heart and pure soul and pure mind, because when you mess with this stuff, you're messing with the very fabric of creation. So I want you to understand how serious it is. When you mess with this stuff, you're messing with the very fabric of creation. And if you go on about very negative tangents, doing negative things with this, believe me when I say, there will be something there that will collect. This is very real. Open your soul to love and peace, and your journey will be a very nice one. If you try to go for greed in any of this, if you try to service yourself in any of this, if you try to go any sort of a negative route, the reprimand will come. And believe me when I say, because you're messing with divinity, the retribution that will come is also made of divinity, and it's made of powerful stuff. And there's not one of us out here who is above or more powerful than karma. Okay? So I want you to keep that in mind. Unconditional loves you all. And keep in mind that embarking upon this, it's one of the most fun things that you can do, but it's also one of the most serious things that you can do. This is taking responsibility for your soul, and then learning how to teach others to take responsibilities for their own souls. You don't take responsibility for them. You teach them how to take responsibility for themselves. Unconditional love to you all.